Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of Dev Drawer. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. As you can see, I don't have my code window open because everything that we're going to be doing today can be done from the browser window. So in the last tutorial, we went over how to create custom post types for your custom theme that you created. So now I'm going to show you that even though our custom theme here is very simple, we're actually going to, once you get it to the part where you want it at, we can export it out. So this usually happens whenever you're moving from a development server to a staging server, or from a staging server to a production server. There's a plugin that we use all the time for this kind of thing that I just wanted to let you know about. So whenever you get your theme built to where you want it to be at, you can actually use this plugin to take everything that's on here and duplicate it directly onto another website or another hosting platform. So first thing you want to do is go to your plugins, and we're going to add a new one and search for duplicator. So that's D-U-P-L-I-C-A-T-O-R. In the icon, it looks like this. It looks like a little cog. So go ahead and install it. And then once it gets done installing, you can activate it, and then we can start seeing the settings where we can start duplicating that. So while this is installing, or while it's activating, I'm going to come over here to my WAMP configuration. Let me reset that zoom a little bit so you can see it. But we have our WordPress.local. What I want to do is create a brand new folder. So whenever you're using Duplicator, the folder that you're duplicating your site to can't have anything in it. So I've already created a new folder inside of my dev drawer folder, and I'm going to create a new virtual host in WAMP. So basically I'm moving from a dev server to a dev server. But in your instance, you would create a server on your staging server, whether it's in the cloud or whether it's on an actual Linux server, or the production, the .com version of it. But for this purpose, I'm going to be duplicating from this WordPress.local to duplicated.local. So I'm going to add a virtual host, and inside of my dev drawer folder, I went ahead and created a folder called duplicated. And we're going to come over here, and we're going to paste that folder in here, and then we're going to do duplicated.local, because I'm still on the local. And if you're familiar with WAMP, you'll know all of this stuff. If you're not, then this is essentially how you create a virtual host. So we're going to start the creation of a virtual host, and then I'm going to do what it's telling me to do. I'm going to come over to my settings and restart the DNS, which you can't see because that is currently off screen. Alright, so I just restarted the WAMP installation. Let's refresh this, and it should bring us to a blank site. Alright, so there's nothing in it right now, which is exactly what we're looking for. Alright, so back in our where we have installed the Duplicator plugin, you'll see now you have a new option called Duplicator. Inside of this, you would create a new package, and you can name it whatever you want to. I'm just going to leave it the default name that it is. You can also come in here and say that you want to, if you have the Duplicator Pro version, you can upload it to Google Drive or Amazon or wherever it's at. You can also come in here and say that you want to archive only your data, specific databases. You want to exclude files. Typically, whenever you're moving from a dev server to a production server, you don't really have to worry about any of this. But what we are going to be doing is we're going to have to set up a new database. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to open up my PHP admin. And I'm going to log in using root password, which is the defaults for WAMP. Oh, root and no password is the defaults for WAMP. And then over here, I'm just going to create a new database. So I'm going to call this one Duplicated. And we're just going to create it. We don't have to put anything in it. We don't have to duplicate any of our tables. The plugin's going to handle all of this for us. So now we go back to our database over here, and we're going to set it up to use localhost 3308, which is because it's WAMP. Normally this would just be localhost. I guess you could put the port down here, but that's fine. We're just going to leave it where it's at. The database name is what we just created, which is called Duplicated. And then the user is root. Then we're going to hit next, and it's going to scan the site and it's going to let you know if you have any issues. Right now it's a very small site. As you can see, there's nothing really here. There's not that many images that are uploaded. We don't really have a lot of anything going on, but if you did have a larger site with a lot of images, you may see some of your size checks. They may turn red or orange, letting you know that it's not, some of the images are too big. But for this website, everything's good, so we're going to go ahead and build it. If you did run into issues, you can always rescan it. You can optimize your images before pushing it out. And I recommend doing all of the optimizations that you can. Alright, so now this is the next screen that it's going to send us to. It's going to give us the installer and the archive. So you can do a one-click download, which will download both of them, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you the installer and the archive separately. And let me open this up. So the files that they're going to give you in the files that they give you, this zip file of the archive of your database as well as the installer.php, you're going to take both of those and you're going to just FTP or add them to the folder that you created for your web server. So what I'm going to do is, in the background, I'm going to be adding this to our duplicated folder. And now we come over here, refresh, we can see that we now have the installer and we have the zip file. So what we want to do is we want to run this installer.php, which is going to bring us to a screen like this. So you can click through all of the options. It's just telling you that everything's passed or good. So you make sure you're using the right version of PHP that your previous server was set up with, so that everything can match. See, go down to options, and you don't need to modify any of these. I usually just hit I've accepted and read all the terms and notices after you've read it. Then hit next, and then it'll start extracting those files for you. Okay, so the next screen appears after it gets done extracting all of those files, and I have my window open right now where I can see the files being extracted, but you can't see this part, but I can verify that they're all there. Now, whenever we are getting to step 2, we need to put in the password for the database user that we've created. So on your server, it wouldn't necessarily be root and a blank password, but for ours, we are actually going to use root and a blank password. So then we're going to come down here and we're going to test the database. It's going to tell us that everything passed, everything's good, and there's different ways that you can do it. So connect and remove all data is the one that we're going to use because the database is currently empty. There is nothing to remove, so we don't have to worry about it. But if you're installing this on another server that has databases in it, you might want to verify that you're actually connecting and removing all data from the correct database so you don't accidentally wipe out one of your servers, or you can create the new database from here. So we've already created our database, we've already connected to it, so let's hit next again. And it's just verifying the settings and it's letting you know that the database parameters are correct. If you enter in all the information wrong, you could override an existing database, which is pretty much exactly what I just said. So we're going to go ahead and hit OK because that's exactly what we want to do. And now we get to come in here and we can change the title, the URL, and the path. So I'm not going to change the URL or the path because this is what I want it to be set at. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to change from testing suite to duplicated suite. And then you also have these options to do additional search and replaces throughout your database. Usually Duplicator's pretty good about replacing the old domain, which would be wordpress.local, with duplicated.local. So if you have any hard-coded images inside of your content, it's usually pretty good about getting those. But you could also come in here with the Duplicator Pro and replace specific instances that you want to. Now we go down to options. You can create a new administrator account. So this is pretty good if you're going to a demo server or staging server for your clients and you want them to be able to get access to it. You can go ahead and create a username, a password, and all this kind of stuff. So whenever the site is being created, it's actually building that up for them and adding them as an administrative account or whatever level that you want them to be at. You can also come in here and tell it different instances that you want to, tables that you want to scan. It gives you an idea of the plugin. So let's say if you have a list of plugins here that are being used for development purposes only, you can remove those so that they're not migrated over to your staging server. And then the same thing with the WP config file. You can go in there and modify certain aspects of the WP config file, but for this purpose we're just going to leave everything as is and hit next. Alright, so the last thing that you need to worry about once you get your site duplicated is you need to log into it. Once you log into it, it will remove all the installation files and then finalize the entire process. So right now I have this check that says auto delete installer files after login, and that is something good because if you monitor your file systems that are created from the duplication, you'll see that you have the zip file is still there. You'll still have the installer.php and all of these other files that Duplicator used to duplicate this site. So we don't want to have those on the production or even the staging version of it because it becomes very insecure very quickly. So we're going to log in, and since we didn't create an administrative login, we're going to use the same login information, so dev drawer and password, to log into it. Now from here you can see that now the installer has run its cleanup and it's uninstalled the folder for the duplicate installer and uninstalled the installer.php, the backup, as well as any of the logs and the archive that it created. So after this is done, you're pretty much on your new site now. So duplicated.local looks just like WordPress.local in the back end, even down to the WordPress 5.4 needing to be updated. So what you need to do as a last step is to uninstall this plugin. So you can deactivate it, and then you can delete it. Once you're done with it, you're done with it. You don't never have to use it again unless you want to duplicate your site to another website. But for now, this is a completely new version of the old site that we had. So this is the old site, and as you can see, this is what it looks like. This is the duplicated site. Everything's exactly the same except that we changed the title. So whenever you get ready to move from stage or development to staging to production, you have a quick and easy way that you can go in there and modify your files without having to actually do anything inside of your code editor. Duplicator is a great plugin, and I highly recommend it, especially if you do a lot of sites very often and you're moving from server to server. You don't necessarily have to go in there and recreate the database. You don't have to reinstall all the files. You just let Duplicator do what it needs to do. So now that we have the Duplicator successfully deleted, we're going to go ahead and update our WordPress installation. Okay, so now WordPress 5.4 is installed on our development server for the duplicated website. So if we go back to our dashboard over here, we can come down here and see version 5.4. And we go back over here, go to our dashboard. It is still at, it's still telling us that we need to get version 5.4, meaning that we're still on version 5.3. So you can see now that these two sites, they're completely independent sites. Our images here, so we can open this up in a new tab, and you can see that it is on the duplicated.local because the duplicator plugin went in there and rewrote the WordPress.local to point to duplicated.local. So we won't have any cross-reference images going from our staging to our development or production to staging, so you don't have to worry about broken images. One thing I would check in the future is to ensure that there is no broken images. Like I said, Duplicator is pretty good about taking the content that you have and rewriting it to go to the new server. Sometimes it misses it, especially if you use the WYSIWYG editors, can't think of any of them off the top of my head, but the GUI editors for WordPress, rather than having the text that you're modifying, you're actually using something like Elementor or something like that. Sometimes it doesn't handle those so well, so you just need to go in there and verify that your links and your images are pointing to the right server rather than the previous server. But I think for now this is what I wanted to go over, just to kind of show you how you can take what you've created and move it to a different server pretty easily for client viewing. If you like this video, definitely subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and hit the notification bell to be able to hear about new tutorials whenever I do create them. But I think I'm going to end it here, so I appreciate the watch, and I'll talk to you later.